Welcome back. Well, if you're looking for a temperature monitoring and compliance, look no further than ComplianceMate. I'm here with Tom, and Tom, very impressed with this because this is a very important part of the equation, and you guys have really made it very easy for everybody out there. Tell us a little bit about your company.
So the great thing about ComplianceMate is we make food safety simple. Traditionally, if you're tracking all the things that the health department or the FDA require you to track, you walk around your restaurant with a clipboard and a pencil and you run around looking up here and climbing and looking all over. We do a lot of that via automated sensor. So instead of you doing that, it happens automatically. But instead of you discovering there's a problem, you know about a problem before you discover it. So we could tell you, for example, if at 2 a.m. your walk-in cooler decided to go out, and instead of you coming in the next morning and discovering that you've got to buy all new food and that you can't serve dinner that day or a meal service that day, you'll know about that when it happens. We'll actually call you with a live person in the middle of the night and say, Bill, you got to get down to the restaurant because you've got a problem.
This is like a full-time employee that never calls in sick, that I don't have to pay, and doesn't go on vacation. But more importantly, not only does it tell me when I have a problem, but before I have a problem, potentially.
Yeah, the way we built the system is to try to get as many leading indicators as possible so that instead of you finding out after the fact, you can react, or you can act instead of react. You can take the necessary corrective actions almost immediately. One thing that's also really nice about the way that our system has been built is we simplify the whole checklist process. Let me give you an example. Traditionally in restaurants, you're going to have a senior manager who's going to be running around doing food safety checklists. With our system, it's built in such a way that you can actually have lower line level employees that are hourly or instead of salary based, do these checklists because it's pretty intuitive. So instead of you knowing, oh, when I check the gravy, I have to make sure and stir it, we actually put on the tablet, hey, stir the gravy and then take the temperature. And then you would know if the gravy's too cold, oh gosh, I have to reheat that to 165 before I can serve it, or I've got to throw it out, or what do I do? Our system, if something is out of temp, will tell you that what you need to do. It will list the appropriate corrective action based on the situation that currently exists in the restaurant.
So this is very proactive. I'm going to be able to be ahead of the curve, hopefully, on food safety.
You are definitely going to be ahead of the curve on food safety. In fact, health inspectors, when they go into a restaurant and they see our product, it's like you've handed them a Christmas present, because they realize that, okay, this is an organization, this is a restaurant that takes food safety seriously. This is a restaurant that cares about serving safe food. And so it changes the conversation from them walking around looking for all the things that might be wrong in your restaurant to, okay, let me look at I see you've got everything here, it's good, we're ready to go. It really makes those types of conversations painless.
So it's really going to help us out as a manager, but we're also going to be able to delegate some of this to employees with very simple training, and this is going to take it through them step by step on what they need to do.
That's correct. One thing that accomplishes as well is by lowering the pay level, if you will, of the employee who's doing these checklists, the system pays for itself. In fact, I had a customer of ours that uses our system in over 1,000 restaurants that this particular person manages, who recently wrote in an online forum, unsolicited from us, he says the system pays for itself time and time again because of the labor savings. It's faster to do a checklist using our system. The food savings, you don't throw away as much food because the temperature, number one, is in the right range, and if it ever drifts out of that range, you're able to save that food before it's time to throw it away. So it really is one of those systems that is better, faster, stronger, and cheaper than the way people are currently doing it.
I can see that, paying for itself because of the fact that we can use somebody other than a manager. It's going to take less time to do it. And as you mentioned, the big savings on not if, but when, our refrigerator decides to take a little bit of a vacation.
It's funny, doing our return on investment calculations, we assume we think pretty conservatively that a refrigeration unit is going to fail once every 72 months, about once every 6 years. That could be because the compressor gives out, that could be a breaker that gets flipped, that could be a power outage, that could be someone just leaving the door open of the refrigeration unit. And think about all the food that you have in a restaurant at any given time that would have to be thrown away if it was out of temp for more than 4 hours. In most cases, that's thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars that would be lost that our system saves them from having to throw away.
And I have to imagine for a manager, this is real big peace of mind. Thunderstorm goes through. I wonder if the power went out. Was there a hiccup in the power? And this is probably going to tell us that everything's okay.
It certainly will. And in fact, there are two ways that we can get that data out. After the power outage, the system will automatically upload all that data. But then also during the power outage, we give them the ability to go in and look at individual sensors on their phone and go, okay, yep, we're good, we're good, we're good. It really makes it easy. We've thought through all the different scenarios that might exist in a product failure, and we've come up with a solution so that it really is a bulletproof system to make sure that people are keeping food safe.
Well, Tom, we have a system that's certainly going to become the next best friend of the manager out there and restaurant owners as well. System that takes a lot less time and removes that frustration factor from the equation. And with that said right now, I know you have to have the attention. All of our viewers out there, what's the best way for them to learn more about ComplianceMate?
That's really easy. Just go to www.ComplianceMate, ComplianceMate.com. Click on, there's links there. You can learn all about our system. You can even actually schedule a demo, and either I or one of the many ComplianceMate employees will be happy to help get you on your path to better food safety.
Easy enough. Tom, thanks so much for being on.
Thanks, Bill.